Hi, welcome to this episode of Waking Up with Plants. I hope you're doing well. Today, Rosemary is joining us, the beautiful plant consciousness of Rosemary. Before we go on our inner hike of today, I want to give a shout out for the Waking Up with Plants journey on Patreon. This month in April, I tweaked the setup a bit, so now it's aligned with the month. First it was aligned with the moon, but now it's more in line with the monthly membership. So every month we will travel with a different plant consciousness, have 4 plant sessions with them, create a beautiful ceremonial cycle to integrate more life quality. And in this month, in April, Nettle will be joining us. They will be working with our energetic body, the electricity currents that run through our energetical system. I've been preparing these plant sessions from, I think, half January. The teachings started coming in, how electricity runs through not only our body, but the bigger body of the earth and also of the plants. So we're speaking not about the electricity in our cables, but a much slower electricity that runs through all living beings. And they show it to me like we're going to clear the space up, like you clean your windows, you make them clear so the light can come shining through very clearly. This is what we're going to do with our electrical system. And also they're going to give teachings on how we can use our energetical field as a dowsing rod to tune in with the energies around us that we are looking for. I'm very curious and very looking forward to this month and to these 4 plant sessions we have with them. I've got the highlights and it reminded me a lot of the movie Avatar. I don't know if you remember that one. And the web that is there that connects them all. I feel that's the area we're going to be working with. So if you're interested, check out the link in the description box. And so for today, we're still on the path of beginnings. We will enter an area where we find it hard to bring newness in, where we experience stagnation. So the central question of today is how to bring movement to areas where we feel stagnation. Rosemary wanted to speak on this. They were walking with me in my awareness, and to feel their energy as being very clear about what they want. So I took some pictures to go on social media of Rosemary, and they were very clear about how they wanted to be pictured, and also when they wanted to share their story, how they wanted to share their story. For example, I'm standing up now, not sitting down recording. That was their request. And it was very pleasant working with someone that's so clear. Not dominant, but just clear in openness. I felt their energy as a counterpart energy towards the energies that Lavender brought in the 3rd episode. That being more the quality of being, and Rosemary bringing more in the quality of doing, the yang quality, but not from a pushing and pulling way, more from a moving with the wind way. The quality you can see in, for example, Qigong or martial arts, where there's a great quality of listening to the body on how it wants to move, and also how it wants to move you out of comfort zones that are not longer serving you. So I saw the energy of Rosemary as this masculine figure, like an old wise man standing with a staff in their hands, standing very tall, and their staff being one of Rosemary's branches. Now, I think most of you will know the plant rosemary, and if not, you can look it up very easily. Their branches have this straight uprising energy to them, and from that vision, their story unfolded. This is Rosemary on how to bring movement to areas where we feel stagnation. Everything in the universe consists out of movement. moving particles, moving energy. So however flowing or stagnant your experience, it's always a different type of movement. Feel in the middle of your body a river running through. In the core of your body, from your crown to your sacrum and feet, a beautiful column of light, of energy flowing along your spine freely. We call this the river of life. And now go to this area in your life that always feels good in plans but never actually makes it to the moment. Something you want to live but keeps on being pushed forward. You think about it, fantasize about it, nibble from it maybe from time to time, but never make the steps to embody it. Live it with all your senses, take it in, follow it through, pull up the anchors and let it take you on its flow. Where do you experience this kind of stagnation? I will presence that with you now. When you connect to this place, you first may encounter a layer of energy that formed upon it. The layer that says, oh, here I am again with this part, I can't seem to move. There can be bitterness there, deep insecurity, hopelessness, numbness even. Taste it. Maybe bittersweet, really visiting this longing place in the moment. Now remember your flowing river. You can imagine this stagnant energy has retracted to the side. Can you feel how far from the river this place is retracted in your body, in your system? Do you still feel the fizz of the fast-running waters? Are you in the side streams or are you on the shore? In your daily experience, you can notice these parts when you feel things moving too slow, going too slow, and your mind, at the same time, your thoughts running very quickly, being very busy. The harder it is for you to be and feel what is, the bigger the retraction from the free running flow, which is our natural state. Flow. Flow always gives the experience of right timing, duration and tempo. So we have two different experiences of tempo of life here, the more stagnant one and the free-flowing one. What step do you want to make? What intention do you want to hold and walk towards? You might have said before, I want all the love in the world, all the joy, inspiration, give me all the success, all the connections. And maybe this is the next step for you. Let's feel what the next step is for this stagnant energy. Coming from a slow spinning energy to a high spinning one can feel like eyes that have been in a dark cave, stepping out in one go, looking in straight sunlight. That's a blinding experience. These parts are like a certain level of dry sponges. They take up water better when you hold it in a stream that is gentler, so it can learn to absorb life again, to remember how to. So again, back to your daily experience. What you will notice, and what you probably have experienced in this area over and over again, is you start with making steps towards this nourishment, but then you give up because you see no results. And this is simply your sponge that doesn't take the water yet. It can't hold it yet enough. It needs more consistency of dripping in a matching tempo. So this means patience and steadfastness to not go into the pattern of giving up, but keep on nurturing the place with the new energy, the new frequency. Do things that are in rhyme with what you want, but maybe not quite the big thing yet. But take actions that have a bit of the color, a bit of the taste, a bit of the sound of what you want, but put it into action. Bring movement there. Wanting more loving relationships? Start with random acts of love towards yourself and towards who comes on your path. Mark these moments and the way they make you feel. And they're showing now their branch as a pole in the ground, as a marking pole. And celebrate the feeling that they give you. And they're showing me now the pole in the ground as a maypole with the ribbons. Celebrate it. Notice them as markings of growth, of regaining vigor. Sing your gratitude for it. You see, in slow spinning energy, time stretches out and experiences become thick. So that energy holds miles of denser time coming into quicker spinning time, coming into light again. And after this marking, you will go your way and you will notice there's a pull to the old setting of dried up life, of stagnation. Structure always want to keep their structure. There's nothing bad about it, it's just a fact. So you will have to keep nurturing it with new energy for a while before it can stand on its own feet. Before it becomes your base setting, anchored in your foundation. You can see this slow running energy as a being with amnesia or a sleeping sickness, constantly forgetting to absorb new life, falling back asleep into the slow darkness of the cave. So yes, as well as not making your actions too big or bold, also give enough light, enough water, enough impulse to wake it up again, to keep reminding it of its new home, that it's more in a flowing stream now. Catch yourself when you sleepwalk back into the cave, when you find yourself in stagnant behaviors. If you have running thoughts that you can't quiet, that means your felt sense has gone to sleep, and you will have to remind you of the beautiful flowing new setting, new possibility. So where do you find the vigor to persevere in this nurturing process? Many plants can give you many true answers to this, but I'm going to give you my approach. Connect to the roaring waterfall of life energy wherever you can access that. Tap in from other areas in your life, or from memories, from other people, the energy you see in other people, in archetypes, in plants like me, movies, music, where you can feel the roar of life's vigor within you. And then you will charge your staff, your walking stick, with breathing that in. Literally, I mean breathing that in deeply when you feel it, and drink it in. Also literally, drink water and imagine yourself filling yourself up with this energy. You charge your staff with this. It's being stored in there so that when you come to a stagnant energy, you can connect to that stored energy, that visceral memory of flow. It becomes your walking aid. When you're feeling stagnant, you shift towards feeling this vigor. Lean on this feeling, pull yourself up on this. Take a small action. That will be the dripping of the water in your sponge. Make it a practice throughout your days to charge your staff with these energies and use the storage when you come to other areas. And then there will come a moment, whenever that moment comes, that you feel you're not holding the staff in your hands anymore, that you're standing on your own feet in that area, because that stagnant energy can tap into the core flow now on its own, and it finds support in your spine, your inner staff, and you've brought a piece of you home to the river of life. Enjoy standing tall and upright. And with that, they end their message. I thank Rosemary for this very energizing, activating message. I hope this message charge your walking stick as well as you walk through your moments from now. I wish you a lovely uprising time, and I will connect with you in the next episode.